Hey, what's up, guys? It's Vengeance here. We're here for an Alliance war slash battlefields breakdown. It's basically going over just defensive formations. This first position here is called the V formation. When you're in the formation, position 3 absorbs the majority of hits. This position takes stone damage from lanes 3 through 5, while heroes positioned 1, 2, 4, and 5 will only take damage from one lane each. So in that particular V formation, you want your front hero to have a high defense, high shield, high HP, so that they survive for a long time because they're going to be hitting with about 43% of all stone damage from that front position. Um, a negative is it only takes killing that front guy to open up a ghosting lane where you can send your stones and not hit an enemy, and creates double mana for your skills. So if your front guy goes down, your team is pretty much done. This W formation, it's got 2 tanks in the front, 3 heroes in the back. For this one, the primary damage absorbing heroes are 2 and 4. These 2 positions take stone damage from 2 lanes each, while heroes on the back row take damage from only 1 lane. So the heroes in 2 and 4 absorb approximately 50% of all stone damage on your defense. It allows 2 heroes to charge quickly and still shielding less robust healers in the back. Cons against this one particularly, again, remaining heroes charge slowly, although it's not as slow as the V formation. This is a common formation used by players with either 2 tanky heroes or 1 tanky hero and a fast healer like Cassandra Hightower in the front. An advantage for this formation is even when attackers eliminate the front positions, there's no ghosting lanes opened up. So it provides additional team for your back row healers to deal extra damage. The M formation, this one's my favorite. This is the one that I use the most. Heroes in 1, 3, and 5 absorb nearly all stone damage while shielding the heroes in the back row. Uh, when using this configuration, hero speed is definitely a factor. Heroes on the back row normally should be fast or very fast because they're not going to receive a lot of hits. But in my case, I run 3 tanks with lots of shields up front, so they have a long-term survivability, and it allows my Idritha and Agatha to go off. So it really depends on what heroes you're capable of putting out in the front. Um, Even in my personal description here, it's minus Malfort Survivor positions 1, 3, and 5, and somebody like an Aurelia or a Flex Hero in positions 2 and 4. Front 3 positions have shields always, so they stall those back row heroes and give them time. On offense, once you have eliminated one of the front row heroes, lanes open up. Position 1 opens up lane 1, position 3 opens up lane 4, and position 5 opens up lane 7. And lastly, the reverse V or the arrow formation. This is the most balanced defense formation. Heroes 1 and 5, um, they're both exposed to 2 lanes each, while positions 2 through 4 are only exposed to 1 lane each. Since most cascades and matches take place across the middle 3 to 4 lanes, this formation allows most of your heroes to charge at the same time. This helps to coordinate attacks and wipe out key heroes for your opponent. Some advanced players advocate that this is an aggressive defensive posture. In this formation, it's better to position your faster heroes in the middle 3 positions and your slower heroes in 1 through 5, and 1 and 5. And same principle, like you would want to put some tanky heroes because they're going to be taking the brunt of the damage. Similar to the V position, when heroes in position 2 and 4 die, there's no ghosting lanes opened up. It's beneficial since 2 positions are typically the first to die when stone damage is the primary source of damage. Go over a couple little team building things. The following tips provide a good starting point on how to effectively manage your roster and build competitive teams. This information will allow you to identify advantage that you may have both offensively and defensively and give you a better understanding of your roster's overall strengths and weaknesses. Um, Tip 1, don't focus on set teams. Identify the top 6 characters you have of each element and focus on leveling them up. Your goal is eventually to have 6 competitive teams that you can field during Alliance War. Review your top 6 element characters and identify which additional characters offer synergy or complements to those heroes. Sometimes options you hadn't thought of will present themselves. Sometimes you may end up with more than one character of the same element on your defense. You got to work with the resources you have instead of waiting on resources that may come in a long time, So, um, another tip is if you have an element that is particularly weak, try to also foster a backup secondary character with the same type of skills that you're missing or that you are weak with. As a minimum, you should have about 6 dispellers leveled up in order to really participate in Alliance War. You're going to want to be able to ruin whatever the other team is trying to do. The second group on your priority list should be heroes that are top end damage dealers. And then you're going to want to level up at least one damage share and at least one cleanser. Um, Overall, though, weapons are going to be the key to your overall success. Understand that team combinations are not predetermined, they change as the situation warrants. So focus on deploying the right type of heroes that can equip the right type of weapons. Synergy for mono teams comes in large part from the weaponry that they have, the Naya weapons and the whips or the energizing weapons. You're going to want to take advantage of multiple of the same elements on enemy teams whenever you see that. If they're running multiples, bring your biggest damage dealers of the opposite color so you can pound out that 250% increased damage and rid them off the board for you. When you're using multiple of the same element on offense, place them side by side to charge for double action against enemy opposing elements. Whenever using multiple of the same element on defense, keep them separate to minimize them from being targeted in the same strike. Bring dispellers for damage shares, cleansers for enemies with debuff capabilities, anti-heal characters for healers, and shield and defense heroes if you're going against big damage dealers. Use your battle space. Whenever an enemy is defeated, you really, really, really should send matches up the lane that has the opening because it's going to produce your specials a lot faster. When using an offensive mono team, the biggest crunch comes around the mid game when your stone generating weapons are done and the board isn't likely cooperating. It's almost required to include differently colored stone generating heroes to keep the board moving. So like a cascader or something like that, you're not going to want to get to the middle of the board and then flounder. If you have a whip and a Naya weapon, you're more than likely going to take a team out in the first 5 to 8 turns. So it's only dangerous once you get into the middle of the game and start losing your ability to produce matches. And last tip I got for you is to read your enemy. Before you build your team, take the time to really look at your enemy's team. Don't focus on their power. Focus on the performance of the team. Players can regularly take down enemies 10, 20k higher power than they are if they build effective teams based on the characters and weapon skill sets of their enemy and take advantage of the battle space and the enemy's weaknesses. Basically, what I'm saying is take the time to look at the enemy. Do they have weaknesses? Do they have multiple colors? Are they running bad weapons? Can you get your specials before they can get their specials? All those are things you want to take into consideration before making an attack. And there are also things you want to take into consideration what your enemy might do against you when you're creating your defense. So I hope this video was informational. I hope it helps you guys out a little bit. Give me a like and a subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I got videos that come out all the time. And I'll see you guys soon. Vengeance out.